How I stay organised as a PCN Pharmacist Part 2. Hi everyone, my name is Osama. I'm a pharmacist working in England. If you are new here, welcome to my channel. So a few months ago I made part 1 of this video about how I stay organised as a PCN pharmacist. Part 1 was mainly concerned with more of the workflow and a little bit of the software that I use in my day-to-day job. So in part 2 today I thought I'd talk about the bookmarks that I use on Microsoft Edge, which is the inbuilt browser in our NHS laptop. So I'm going to screen record and I'm going to talk you through my bookmarks. Okay, so this is the home screen of Microsoft Edge. So we'll just go through everything one by one and I'll talk you through it. So okay, so these are my bookmarks or favorites. So PCD stands for Primary Care Doncaster, who are my employers. So TeamNet, that's sort of like an online employer portal that you can use. It's like a one-stop shop. You can book your holidays on there. You've got staff announcements, tasks to do, sort of like Primary Care Doncaster tasks. PayCircle, that's just an online wage slip thing that we've transitioned to. And then I've just got member area for Primary Care Doncaster. Moving on to email accounts, I've got my NHS email on here, so I use that obviously a lot every single day at work. I've got my Gmail account, I don't really use that at work at all. Google account, and then this, which is just sort of like an online file management system. Broad guidelines next. So diabetes, I've got the North West London clinical guidelines for diabetes. This is absolutely fantastic because I'm a prescriber specialising in diabetes. I find this is an absolutely fantastic website and resource. Okay, so then I've got things like your NICE guidelines, CKS. I've got the guidelines website, which is quite good. It amalgamates NICE and also a few other sort of guidelines, and it's got videos, it's got all sorts of stuff on there, so it's really fantastic. Then I've got SPS. SPS is good, the Specialist Pharmacy Services. That's really good. That's got, I'm sure you know, that's got a ton of information on there about drug stability and all sorts of different things. PCNC website, so if I want to check the latest series shortage protocols, SSPs, that's on there. If I want to see what's happening within community pharmacy in general, if I want to keep my pulse on it, this is the place to be. What else have we got? And then just a few other bits and pieces really on the BMJ best practice, things like that. Okay, so let's move on to reference books. So this is a bit easier. I've got things like the drug tariff, I've got the BNF in there. The BNF is also built into EMIS Web, so you can access it that way. Note keeping, I've got 2 things here. I've got Google Keep and Notion, but to be honest with you, I use them more on my mobile. I don't really use them on my laptop. Software is a big one. So I've got things like the NHS Digital Spine. Obviously you can use that a lot to track prescriptions, check nominations. Word counter, I just found this generic word counter on the internet, so when I'm doing my PC PEP course, I can use this to count my words so I don't go over the word limit. So what else have we got in software? QRisk 2, self-explanatory when I'm doing QRisk calculations. Outcomes for Health, use that when we're going out on the roving flu jabs, COVID jabs. A few other bits and pieces from NHS Digital Lipid Management. BP average calculator, this is a good one. Again, I just found it on the internet. If I want to calculate a home average reading, say you've got a patient who's give you, I don't know, 20 readings from home, you can put them in here and you can calculate the what do you call it, the average home BP. So stock, that's a big one. So I've got all your major wholesalers, Alliance, AH. I can track what's in stock, what's not in stock, so when I'm prescribing I don't need to fall into any traps. Drug reviews, deprescribing, so obviously a lot of stuff we're involved with is opioids and dependence forming drugs. So I've got all sorts of stuff on here. I've got the Faculty of Pain Medicine. I've got things like the Living Well with Pain website, which is a good one. Gabapentin, pregabalin tapering website. I just found it off some CCG online. Opioid equivalence charts, Zopiclone deprescribing, more morphine calculators. I've got local guidelines for pain management and formularies, stuff like that. So that's quite handy really. And then on the second part of this drug reviews, I've just got different things to do with deprescribing and things like that really. So nothing too special in there. Formularies, self-explanatory. I've just got our local formularies on here for quick reference. PCN, I don't really use that a huge amount, but it's more like a repository of things like your PCN contracts, IF contracts, stuff like that. Data to do with PCN, whether you're hitting your targets, things like that. Swallowing difficulty, so I've got the Newt guidelines on here, which is fantastic, and a few other sort of bits and pieces, but Newt is the main one that we use for swallowing difficulties. HRT, I suppose I don't really use that much in my work, but the British Menopause Society, I think that's quite a good one from what I hear, for if you want to switch people over to different types of HRT. Mental health, again, a few bits and pieces in there, things to do with comparing antidepressants to one another, stuff like that, things to do with sleep and things like that. And IAPT is quite a good thing if you want to refer people on. Scoring, screening tools, got things like the Q fracture, anticholinergic burden calculators, Rockwood, sort of generic stuff really. CPD, so I've got my CPP in here. I've got my dashboard for my PCPEP and a few other bits. Hypertension, again, just some guidelines and things like that. Medical calculators, so I've got things like your Orbit, bleeding score thing in here, and then MedCalc, which is just a generic medical calculator thing online. It's like a one-stop shop for everything really. Okay, so what else have we got in here? Respiratory, I've got things like Right Breathe, GINA guidelines, asthma control test, the CAT score for COPD patients. So again, a bit of a one-stop shop for respiratory, and then obviously I've got my own guidelines down here for Doncaster. Osteoporosis, don't really use that much. Media, don't really use that much. I've got some bits and pieces. Renal, I've got the renal handbook, again, don't really use it much. And then sort of down here at the bottom, I've just got various bits and pieces that I don't really use much, to be honest with you. So, you know, I hope that was not too boring for you. I just thought I'd give a quick whistle-stop tour of my bookmarks that I use on Microsoft Edge. So I'm going to do a part 3 about how I stay organized, discussing the different types of software that I use, and I think I might do a part 4 where I show you some of the folders that I have stored on my work laptop. I think that might be useful. So anyway, listen, I hope you found value in the video. Thanks very much for watching, I appreciate it, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.